Whoa, tier 4. I went on to Minnie's chat and I said hello and I didn't even say anything bad, and she's like, I saw you in your stream yesterday. I will never forgive you. And I was like, I didn't do anything. Why don't you play Horn of Heaven? Because it's garbage. Can you make a deck based on giving your opponent garbage cards? No. Hello there. Moderator beat me to it. Elemental Hero Stratos. Oh no, is it a hero deck? But I have Skill Drain in my hand. Sadly, no crawler video. You have several videos about crawlers could have been mentioned, such as your top 9 level 9 monsters, top 10 floodgates, Deus Ex Machina. I'm doing good, man. You winning already? Yeah, I've already won like 100 times. This is probably going to be a 24-hour endurance stream. I thought you liked garbage, Mr. Logs? What are you talking about? Here, let me... You're not half wrong. Half right. Half wrong? I think half wrong. So, when it comes to the types of cards I like, the types of decks I like to play decks that have like a gimmick to it, where the gimmick isn't just, you know, play this archetype because it's bad. I don't like to play pure archetypes. I don't like to play any of the decks, you know, just 100%, just whatever the archetype is plus hand traps. I like to build the decks around things. That's why I use so many engines. That's why, you know, there's tennies in all my decks, because I need the engines in order to get whatever I'm trying to do to work. You know, like life point gain mill. That ain't no engine. I mean, that ain't no archetype. There's no archetype that life point gain mills. It's just an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different engines trying to get a garbage strategy to work. Or like Toon Comic Hand Control. It uses Toon cards, but you know, only enough to run Toon Comic Hand, and that's it. And everything else is flexible. So sometimes people will say, you know, like, why don't you play, you know, this archetype? I was like, well, because that archetype is What's the correct term? We used to call it xenophobic archetypes, where they can't play with anything else. I don't think that's the politically correct term to use anymore, though. Is there another way to call decks where you can't really splash anything else into them? We used to call it xenophobic decks. Why don't you play OG Archifiend's Kappa face? Because they're garbage. Self-isolated, pure. Isolated, xenophobic is perfect. Yeah, but whenever I called cards xenophobic, people would, you know, go crazy about it in the comments. You're like, well, that's just what we called it, but if that's not okay, then I'll use a correct term for it. Self-floodgating, called hydrophobic. Play pure foot monsters. Sadly, I don't have a deck list, but there's a video on YouTube. Pure flip monster deck. You mean like Guru Control? I love Guru Control. Is it non-splashable? Yeah, non-splashable. Chaos Dragons weren't an archetype. Do you like them? Yeah. Non-splashable? No. I'm looking through your guys' things. Lore accurate? I can't really see homogeneous. No. Archetype-centric? No. Oh! There's an animation for it? Ooh, that's cool. Self-restricted? No. Did he just special summon Elemental Hero Shadow Mist from his hand? Wait, this card actually has a floating effect? What? I have never seen this floating effect proc before. I play so much heroes, and I've never seen that actually go off before. Talk about Maneater Bug and Morphine Jar. Why do you have Akiza as your profile pic? I don't know, I just chose that a long time ago. I should probably change it. By the way, if you ever decide to chat game night, what if you did a singleton challenge? What's a singleton challenge? Never heard of it. Ooh, did I draw into the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber? That's pretty good. I can use this. This would have been nice to have in my opening hand. I don't really have any way to like extend with the Eperia. Every card is limited to one? Oh, Highlander. I wouldn't mind doing a Highlander tournament. I was actually thinking about that. I was like, yeah, I think it would be fun to hold like a GOAT tournament, or, you know, other custom restrictions. But then I think about all the time and effort it would take to set that up, and then I don't do it because I am unbelievably busy and I don't have time to do anything. A meme deck tournament? Yeah. Like, the amount of time and effort it takes to set up tournaments is quite a lot. 60 card Highlander tournament, like Commander format. Name a better duo, DuelLogs and the Interrupted Kaiju Slumber when he needs it. I know, right? A hero lives. Yes, Maxi. I want to draw a card. Need to hire more people, grow the business, invest more logs. I already have 15 people though. Oh, if there's anyone in chat who is proficient with Dungeons and Dragons, I'm looking for a Dungeons and Dragons script writer. I really need a D&D script writer so bad. You should hit me up. Can you hire me? Do you have experience with Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition and a willingness to learn? Oh, that actually allows its effect to resolve. Ooh, smart. D&D, you say? How long have you played D&D? Since 2016, so 6 years now. I used to a long time ago, not anymore. You're still pissed at the last video? What last video? You mean Dungeon Master? What was the last video that happened? What is this Dungeons and Dragons you speak of? Can you hire me for any job? No, only if your job entails writing Dungeons and Dragons top 10s. Wait, a writer? I have experience. What is 5e? I only know D&D Next. Is D&D Next a thing? I could also use a Yu-Gi-Oh scriptwriter. A second one. That would be pretty pog. Pretty poggers. Can you hire me as a cleaner? Currently what I need is a second Yu-Gi-Oh scriptwriter. At least one D&D scriptwriter. Like, oh my god, we've gone through like 4 of them so far, who haven't worked out for 4 completely different and unique reasons. So, I was talking about how I was having problems with hiring people, or that the people I would hire just wouldn't work out. And like, it was happening so frequently that I was like, I have to be doing something wrong. You know, because generally, if you're a type of person who can't keep friends or relationships, usually it's because there's something wrong with you. And you should like really do some introspection to look into it and be like, what am I doing wrong? How come none of these things are ever working out? So I was talking about that to some people, and Leah gave me a book that I could read with some really good advice in it. And so I read through the book. It was a management book about successful businesses and business people and how they do things. And you know what I found out after finishing the book today, finally, after reading it for the past week? I found out that I'm doing everything right. I've just been unlucky. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. How to make friends and manipulate people? No, it's not. Well, actually, that is a book. It's not called How to Manipulate People, but it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's what a plot twist! Best way to sex with this man is to get a small loan of 10 million. That's what I was saying. That's what I always say.
Poemu.
You guys!
Poemu.
You all! I hope I
Poemu.
go to hell!
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you tell him, Pomu. Thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters? It's a fun little game. What does a Yu-Gi-Oh! Scriptwriter usually do for you? They do everything for me. It's more like, what don't they do? You know? I've been DMing for going on 10 years now. In D&D 5th edition. DuelLogs can admit you fired them because they wouldn't have your evil satanic Furby collection alone. Ah, you got me. 100 in a gene. Oh yeah, I'm at 100 life points right now. You think they can pull it off? Yeah. Destiny and Dragoon. What are the chances of that? Hi YouTube. This isn't going on YouTube. Do they make you a sandwich and do you laugh? I make my own sandwiches. I bought a third block called How to Scam People Online 6 months ago and it still hasn't arrived. That's a good one.